Coming to the stage next is a very funny lady. Can you believe it? 4 women. Never had that many in a class. It was great because we got really the other side of things, such as the last words. Yes, dear. I wrote that one down, but I didn't write it. So I'm not claiming credit for it. Anyway, coming now to the stage, a very funny lady, Lorraine Lopez. Let's hear it for Lorraine.
You remember Louis, who traveled to Greece. Well, he's my husband, and I'm really glad you enjoyed his set. I'm Vaso. Play along. Actually, I'm Lorraine Lopez, no relation to J-Lo. The resemblance is uncanny, I know, but she's actually not my twin sister. We're very different. I'm more dignified, more reserved, antisocial, some have said. I have a please leave me alone personality, and I love to gripe and complain. So loads of fun, right? I'm also a recovering English professor, right? I have a PhD, so I'm a doctor, not the kind that does you any good. Unless you're struggling with punctuation, or you need to explicate Paradise Lost. Call on me. Whoa. That's surprising. Yeah. So when an emergency arises and someone says, is there a doctor in the house? That person needs to be more specific. Is there a doctor of medicine in the house? Otherwise, I might pop over to correct grammar. Now, you said he collapsed in front of my sister and I, but the preposition requires an object pronoun. You should have said, he collapsed in front of my sister and me. And by the way, he doesn't look too good. As a recovering English professor, what I do have is a very particular set of skills. That quote is actually ungrammatical. In the film Taken, Liam Neeson says, what I do have are a very particular set of skills. Set of skills is singular. It requires the singular verb form. But you educated people know that, right? Clearly, I take words seriously. Clearly I take words seriously, so I find redundancy hard to abide, which means I find redundancy hard to abide. For example, take the phrase wink an eye. Do we really need the eye? It's not like you can wink an ear or an elbow. The same with shrugging shoulders and clapping hands, right? And what about true pretenses? As opposed to what? I mean, that's it up. And think of false pretenses, as opposed to what? True pretenses. Misplaced modifiers also disturb me. For example, driving my car to work, a squirrel ran into the street. A, Why'd you lend your car to a squirrel? B, where does the squirrel work? Or, as a young child, my mother sewed all of my Halloween costumes. Here, the phrase, as a young child, modifies mother for one heck of a psychic kid. How did she know you'd be born? How did she know what costumes you'd want? And how did she get the sizes right? I just want to know that. Double negatives bother me twice as much. One of the worst comes from a law firm that advertises on television with this claim: nobody wants what they don't deserve. Okay, in the first place, absolutes: always, never, all, none, everybody, nobody. Compromise, truth. Every single time. Then we have privilege, the idea of privilege, which is people having what you don't deserve is the very definition of privilege. And who doesn't want that? And think about it. Do we truly deserve all that we have? Do I deserve my car, my condo? Do I deserve the internet? Well, lately, Spectrum seems to feel that I do not. Before I was a cluster of cells in the womb, what exactly did I do to deserve potable water and electricity? Don't get me wrong, I want those things. I absolutely want what I don't deserve. So maybe that commercial is spot on. Nobody wants what they don't deserve. Everybody does. Everyone wants that. As a former English professor, I enjoy word games like Scrabble and Quiddler. Fortunately for me, my husband does too. When we moved to Asheville and learned about, well, fortunately for me, my husband does too. Remember the singles classifieds back in the day, long before OkCupid and Grindr? Ads that would say, looking for such and such for serious commitment, no games. I'd see those and think, no games? Why the heck not? What are you supposed to do over dinner? Talk to each other? Good God. When we moved to Asheville, we learned about the Scrabble Club here, and our eyes lit up. We headed out to the rec center that hosts the club and found us playing several games over the next 4 hours. Yes, 4 hours of neck-stiffening, back-burning, headache-inducing tile slinging with monosyllabic strangers, every bit as odd as we are, and we loved it. We've become regulars at the club that meets each Sunday. Once, as we came back from the club, we ran into our neighbors, and they asked if we were returning from church. My husband explained about the club, and I said, "It's the closest we'll ever come to a church. The dictionary is our Bible." Haven't really seen them around since. Now we're preparing for a Scrabble tournament, and we have to learn as many words as we can in order to play them, and also to know when an opponent's trying to sneak in a phony baloneyism, right? In a recent game against me, a man played T-I-D-A-Y, tie day. What is that? The opposite of casual Friday. Turned out to be a fake, but I didn't challenge because the Scrabble dictionary allows all kinds of words. Merriam-Webster indeed moves in strange and mysterious ways. It allows words, the Scrabble dictionary lists words for extinct oxen, for obscure explosive gases, for Gaelic variations on just about everything. It includes crocodile and croc, but there's no listing for guac. Guacamole is allowed, but not guac. Outside of Scrabble Club, I never groped for a synonym for rhinoceros, Keitloa, nor do I have reason to come up with the plural term for the coin used in ancient Rome, denarii. When ordering tacos, no one says, "I'll have the Keitloa grilled, corn tortillas, no cheese. Have you got change for 20 denarii?" In everyday life, 7 words for a pile of rocks aren't necessary, and I don't like to think about, much less need the name for the movable wing flap on an airplane. It's enough for me to know what to say when that thing's not functioning. Oh, shit. What's really needed is a handy 1-syllable way to deal with the craving for mashed avocado. We need guac. Are you there, Merriam-Webster? It's me, Ello. Nobody doesn't like when people who compile dictionaries don't never listen to us. Right?
Right.
No? And there you have it. Leave me alone personality, recovering English professor, Scrabble fiend. I am living the life. Jennifer Lopez wishes she were me. Thank you.
Lorraine Lopez. L-Lo. Good job. Beautiful. Who would have thought that listening to grammar could be that much fun? Yeah, it's really good.